Hello, it's James from JRTBs. It is July the 23rd. It's hot. It's not that humid. It's been more humid, but it's about 83 degrees. So I'm set up here in the shade, and today I'd like to start doing my mite checks. I'm a little late. I usually start around the second week of July. And I typically check pretty much every colony because I've noticed over the years, like for instance, this is number 7 here. I'm all the way down the end. If I could show you. This is number 7 on the end, and then number 9 was sitting next to it last year. And it was actually a 5-frame nuke that I had purchased from a beekeeper the year before, but I never went and got it because they were busy. I was busy, so I saved it for last spring. I picked it up, put it here, built it up into a 10-frame box, and when I got around to July doing mite checks, this was the one colony. I think it was an 11 or 12 mite wash, and I treated it the rest of the summer, and then I did my fall treatments on it like all the others, and this was the one that died over the winter. Well, it died in March, but I'm blaming the Varroa mites. But this one right next to it, I pretty much had a 0 and maybe 1 or 2 mite count. So they definitely changed. So I will go through the next couple weeks as I'm doing my routine summer inspections and do mite counts on them, and then treat accordingly. So this is actually the first one of the season that I'm doing. I'm a little late, but better late than never. So let's get in here. I don't know, it's a bit of a dearth. I don't know how the bees are going to be today. Plus I'm over here in the shade, so we'll see. But I'll just show you how I do it. It's been working pretty good for me. And I do use just straight alcohol. When I started in 2020, you couldn't get alcohol because of the pandemic, so I was using windshield washer fluid, and that actually worked really good. Looks like some honey on here. I got my one deep box, 2 supers on. That's usually how I leave them throughout the summer. Take this one right off. What I'm also checking for this time of year is to see how much honey they have, to make sure they have enough. Going through the dirt. And that box weighs about 30 pounds, so there's lots of honey in that one. I haven't been in this brood box. I didn't check my notes, but it's been several weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So this box full of bees, but not a whole lot of honey in that. Cover these girls up. One thing at this time of year is definitely the robbing. I'll try to get you closer here. A little more smoke. I'm also checking, make sure they have queens, what the queen pattern looks like. August is in a week, and if you have any queen issues, definitely want to get them worked out in August. So this is what I use. Just have this plastic bin, a 1/2 cup scoop, And then I use the Easy Check with alcohol. So I have that set up right here next to me. When I do my washes, I like to find the queen. And this is basically, I've been in here in a while, so it's really a full inspection for me. And I try to find the queen because you definitely don't want to put her into a mite wash. I mean, if you do, you have time to work it out and get a new queen, but so she's got brood right there on the end. I'm gonna bring my flashlight. I can't see eggs in there. There's brood hatching. See what's on the outside. Some more brood. A little bit of drone comb. I'm not seeing any eggs on that one. Very, very light frame. See, there's not a, it's an outside frame, there's not a drop of honey on it. So they, with the singles, they tend to move all the honey up. But I'm gonna leave those two supers, and whatever honey's in them, there's plenty. I'm gonna leave it through fall. Alright. A lot of open cells, and I think I see eggs. I should have brought my flashlight. I didn't. I'm also looking for queen cells, queen cups, all the usual stuff. I'm going to take this frame up into the sun for a second. If this doesn't have eggs on it, then it could be a problem. Be right back. Alright, this one is chock full of eggs. So I know she's been in here last 3 days. She's probably pretty close here. What I'm looking for is either whole frame with open brood. That's what I'm really looking for. So that's, this is all eggs here. It's usually where the mites are going to spend some time so they can get down into the comb. And there's the queen. If you can see here right on the edge, she's marked red. That red is really hard to see, to me anyway. Alright, I'm going to get her in a clip if she comes out of that groove. Here she comes. Alright, so I got her safe. I'm going to put her down here. This way I know she's safe. Now I can work a little quicker. Don't have to worry about her. And I don't have to go through every frame to find her, and I can just keep checking a few more, make sure there's no sign of swarming. This time of year, I should be just about done with that. There's some drone brood down there. There's some open larvae on this side and drone brood, so a little drone brood on this side and some open larvae. I'm gonna set that one off to the side. That's a good one. It's a good one to shake. Let me see if I can find another one, even more open larvae. Pollen and eggs. Here's some open brood. There's open brood in this one. Next, here I'll show you. I might use that one. No sign of swarming, so that's good. Watch out, girls. See if what I saw was right here. Yeah, there's a, I think the queen's doing pretty good there. So this one's all capped, so. A few spots, a few holes, I don't know what that is. They pulled stuff out of there, but this one you really don't want for a mite check. And the next one looks like more of the same capped brood. So I'm going to take some bees off of this one. I'm going to move the camera so you can see what I'm going to do. It's pretty easy. So we got this frame, got some open brood on it. So give a little shake into the bucket or the bin, put the frame back, and this one I was saving, shake this one in, and put that back. Bees fly back, it's fine because we want the nurse bees anyway. So let's get the cup, open up the canister, bang them right down into a corner with a nice heaping cup. We'll get a few more just to make sure. Top on, and they're dead now. I don't like to have to kill them, but you really need to check. And then the rest of these bees, we'll just put them right back in. And it's as easy as that. So I just set that off to the side. Let's put this colony back together. Shake them so I give myself a little bit more room to get this end frame in without killing any more bees. Already killed enough, but 300 bees, you know, to check for mites, I think is well worth it. I think I've heard that maybe 1,000 die per day, or maybe even more than that, and the same amount is born per day. So 300 bees to check for mites is well worth it. Okay, let's let the queen go. Where is she? There she is. There she goes. The excluder back on. Just get these girls closed up. Not any kind of robbing or anything. It's a good colony. There's a lot of bees. Man, they stick together 5 minutes and they're stuck together. So this one is not very heavy. There's some honey in there, but I think throughout the summer they'll fill this one up. This one has more. Oh. There's definitely some fat frames in there. They have plenty of honey. Get them if they fall. And I'll just, if the fall flow is good, they'll fill both of these boxes. And I will leave them one. I'm hoping, or if they don't fill them both, I'll move honey down and fill up one full box. And then I'm hoping not to have to feed so much. In the years past, I've pretty much taken all the honey off and then spin it out and put the empty comb back on, maybe with some partials or something, and then just feed them heavy, and they would fill everything. And it's just a lot of sugar. Sugar is not cheap, especially now. Everything's going up. So I still have fall honey from last year left over. So this year I'm going to try to feed less and leave more honey. So I'm letting them build up one full super and whatever they want to put in the deep, and I'll take the top box off, whatever's in there. If I got to move it down, I'll do that. But all right, so now we got our mite count, and I kind of give it a swirl and a shake. They say go a good minute, and we're gonna look at this together, and that'll tell me what I need to do. Normally what I do, it's almost August. I start on August 1st. I treat with oxalic acid vaporization with Larabi's vaporizer. I use an inverter, put it in my truck, run an extension cord down here. Works really good, but that's what I've been doing the last 3 years. I treat all through August with oxalic acid. And I don't think it completely eliminates the mites. I think what it does is just holds their numbers low enough and keeps them from turning into mite bombs. If you already have a mite bomb, it probably, it'll help, but it's probably not going to get them through the winter. Just oxalic acid. It's kind of like a maintenance treatment. I do use it in also November, December, and January. That's where it really works well because they are pretty much broodless at that time, and it pretty much kills all the mites, and they come out of winter. I don't know if you saw my earlier videos, but they come out really strong and vigorous and ready to work. So that's been working. And then I also treat in the fall, September into October, up to like Halloween. But I won't discuss that in this video. We'll talk about that later. So a lot of information, but the mites are really important. But this right here is step number 1. All right, let's see. I don't know if the camera can see or not. So I will show you. Let me give it another shake. Sometimes you shake it up and down and around. Make sure everything is loose. Let me see if I can let you see this. Let's see if it focuses. Those little bits, it's propolis. There's like little pieces of propolis stuck on the bottom. There's that one thing in there on the bottom there. I'm going to open this up. I don't think it's a mite, but so I'm seeing 0 mites. And I put a little extra bees in here. There's probably 400 bees, 350 in here. So that's what I want to see. That's a really good sign. Doesn't mean there's no mites at all, but it means the mite numbers are low. And I don't really need to do anything at this time with the mites. You could see there's none in there. I don't know if you could see that good. So 0 mites. I'll reuse this. And sorry I had to kill the bees, but it's really important to know that number 7, right now anyway, is clean. And I will treat it anyway in August. Oxalic acid's really, I think it's really easy on the bees, and I've been doing it for years now, and I've never had an issue with a queen or a colony superseding. And what I do is, I don't know if you've noticed the back of my hives, there's golf tees, all of them. They all have golf tees. So you just pull the tee out, and that's where you insert your wand. And I treat them, and now that the honey is off that I'm going to extract, there's still a little bit of honey on some of these. There's no full boxes, there's just some frames. I'm going to go in and pull out some full frames. So I'll do that before I do any treating. But the right oxalic acid, I mean, they made it legal to use with honey supers on anyway. And when you treat like this deep box that goes into the bottom, I mean, it does come up, but I mean, it really hits the brood and where the mites are down there. And then I don't seal up the front. It comes out the front a little bit. But yeah, that's what I do, and it sure seems to work, because they come out. I don't even do mite checks in the spring if I follow my regimen, and it seems to have been working. And you can almost tell that there's no mites when they're making that much honey and they're that big and they're growing up so strong. And I'm always looking for deformed wing virus and things like that, and I've never seen any of that here. Doesn't mean it'll never happen, but so far so good with the oxalic acid. I will make a video when I start treating, I just want to show you how I do it. I wear like a heavier glove because I think it's hot. Sometimes the pops, they're the little cups, they pop off. I use a drill bit, and I have to keep drilling out the little hole to keep it clean, because it like calcifies in there. But it does work. It does work pretty good, and it seems to be working here anyway. I don't know about anyone else that's been using it over the years, but yeah, July 23rd, first mite check, and no mites, and I haven't treated since. I have to look, but I think I did hit them. I hit them again in like February. There was a nice warmer day where they broke their cluster in February, and I hit them again with oxalic acid, all of them. And I do that all through winter, November, December, January, February, at least 3 times. I think this year I was able to do it 4. If it's really cold, it doesn't seem to work as well because they're so tight in a cluster. But yeah, I'll show you how I use the vaporizer and that kind of stuff when we get there. But yeah, for now, that's what I do. We just go through the colony, make sure they have a good queen, and do the mite washes, make sure they have enough honey to get them into fall before the fall flow. I actually just saw yesterday the first early season goldenrod is starting to bloom, and it's not even August yet. And there's some other stuff out there. They're always bringing something in. It's not heavy. Like, they're not going to fill any supers up with it until that goldenrod and aster start really blooming. But yeah, that's just a quick mite update. And if I do find like a mite bomb, I will make a video. But like, say if there was like 15 mites in this wash, or 20 mites, I have found them. My first year I had one with over 20. It was over 20 mites, and I got rid of them, and that colony made it through winter, and it's still up there, number 2. I mean, they're all different bees, different queens now, but I was able to fight back and make that colony survive. But say I did find like 20, right now in that colony. I have Formic Pro on standby, and that's how I fought back a bunch of years ago with the Formic Pro. One pad 10 days, another pad 10 days. You just have to make sure those first 2 days are like below 85. Try to, hopefully find a couple cool days. But that stuff works. And I only used it that one time for that one mite bomb I had. I haven't really had a mite bomb. I could have done this last year. I should have done it to this colony. But I used the oxalic acid, and it didn't work. It just wasn't enough, plus my fall treatments. But yeah, that's what I do. So if I find one, I have Formic Pro ready. It is kind of hot, so I don't know if I can sneak it in right now, but if it's high, you really have nothing to lose. I mean, if you lose your queen, you lose your queen. You have to get rid of the mites, or otherwise you're going to lose the whole colony anyway. So that's how I take it. You might as well try to fight the mites if they're high, and obviously staying on top of them like this is the way to go, I think, to have really healthy and happy bees. And yeah, it did. Got a lot of honey this spring. All right. Hopefully everyone's having good luck with their bees, and hopefully this helps if you guys want to check your own mites. It's really not that hard. I got this on Amazon, the Easy Check. I took the half-cup measuring cup from my wife out of the kitchen, and this is just a cheap plastic bin. Works perfect, and it's really pretty easy to do. Alrighty, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.